Good morning. I bring greetings to you from the residents, the staff, and the board of directors of United Church of Christ Homes. For those of you who do not know me, I am Victoria Velez, and I have been a member here since about 10 years, but I've also had the pleasure of being the Director of Public Relations and Fund Development for UCC Homes for the past 19 years. And over those 19 years, I've been blessed to meet many amazing people, many from this congregation, who have been called by God to be shepherds, overseeing and guiding our ministry to the aging. The mission of UCC Homes is, in the spirit of Christ's love, to provide care and service to the elderly through acts of love and compassion. And we carry out that mission at the Lebanon Valley Home in Annville, Thornmold Home and Sarah A. Todd Memorial Home, both located in Carlisle, the ones you're probably most familiar with. We also carry it out at Ephrata Manor in Lancaster County and at our two Kindred Place apartments, with one location in Annville and the other in Harrisburg. Our communities provide a variety of senior living options, including independent apartments and cottages, personal care units, and skilled nursing care. UCC Homes is recognized by Penn Central Conference as a specialized ministry in health and welfare. However, we are a separate entity, but we do highly value the covenantal relationship that we have with the churches within the Harrisburg, Lancaster, Lebanon, and Mercersburg associations within Penn Central Conference. And we view UCC Homes as a joint ministry to the aging in partnership with those sponsoring congregations. Now, like the churches within Penn Central Conference, UCC Homes is faith-based and mission-driven. The church is where the mind is nourished as much as the soul. And at UCC Homes, we strive to provide in the most Christian, professional, compassionate, and dignified manner a holistic ministry of care and service to the elderly, taking into account their spiritual, physical, psychological, and social needs. Now, we know that the UCC is known for embracing all kinds of communities and new modes of thinking. Well, we too at UCC Homes welcome change. The rapid changing environment in the field of long-term care and in our society challenges UCC Homes to look for creative ways to operate and develop services to meet today's pressing demands. The American Association for Homes and Services for the Aging, based on data from the U.S. Census Bureau, anticipate that in the year 2020, 12 million older Americans will need some type of long-term care. And by the year 2030, the population of Americans ages 65 and older will double to 71.5 million, or 20% of the population. And I just read an article earlier this week that in the year 2050, it will be the first time that Americans ages 65 and older will outnumber people who are 16 years or younger. So there will be an influx of the elderly versus the younger folks. UCC Homes and other not-for-profit organizations, we continually deal with significant changes for organizational change and financial viability. And now, the challenge of meeting a rapidly growing older population. And one of the major things that we've done to help meet the varied needs of this new generation of seniors is that we've transformed how we provide older adult services so that residents are able to maintain similar routines and activities in a long-term care setting as they had in their own home. So instead of the residents coming into one of our communities and changing their lifelong routines to a routine set by our staff provide care and service based on the individual routine of each resident. Your traditional nursing care communities used to dictate when a resident would get up. They had to be up at 7 o'clock, ready for breakfast at 7:30, and activities by 8:30. When they would take their medication, when and how often they would shower, what activities in which they would participate. But the culture changes that we've made at UCC Homes allow residents to decide when they want to wake up. We call it our natural wake up. I don't know about you, but if I'm used to sleeping into 7:30, and I had somebody waking me up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, I wouldn't be a happy camper. And we found that since we've started our natural wake up, the residents are more pleasant and satisfied throughout the whole day. We also have what we call our open dining program, so that those folks who wake up early can have a hot meal. But for the people who like to stay up later and sleep in later, when they get up, they can also have a hot meal, and that transcends throughout the day as well. They can decide when and how often they want to shower. There's a better window of opportunity for their medications, and they can decide which activities in which they want to participate. And all of our activities are resident-driven. So we have a resident council, and they get together with our Director of Lifestyle Services to determine what things they want to do during certain weeks or certain months. Now, some of you may know that Thornwald Home has undergone extensive renovations, and we're just at the tail end of finishing those renovations. So I encourage you, if you haven't been to Thornwald Home or any of our communities, to stop by and see the warm and welcoming environment in which the residents and staff live and work. Now, God grants all persons with varied talents and abilities and calls us to serve in many different ways. At UCC Homes, we've been blessed with many friends who share a strong desire in our work with the elderly, and they share their God-given talents with us, reaching out to those in need. We have a 15-member board of directors, all who are non-paid volunteers. This is an incredible group of men and women who share their knowledge and their heart-filled passion with our ministry. They provide guidance and decisions regarding policies, and they ensure that the needs of those we are serving are met. They lead with vision that sets the pace for current operations and also for future developments. Now, we're always looking for new board members, so if you have an interest in serving on our board, please let me know or let Pastor John know. He knows how to get a hold of me. We're always looking for folks from our sponsoring congregations to serve in that capacity. Another way that folks from our congregations support this ministry is through volunteering, whether it's working one-on-one with a resident, transporting residents to and from activities within the campus or off campus, providing a musical, artistic, or educational program. There's lots of opportunities to volunteer. And I have to point out that there is a special group here from St. Paul's UCC that come 4 times a year to the corporate office to help with the Heartbeat newsletter mailings and our benevolent fund appeal. And I have to tell you, these ladies work as fast as they talk, and they get the job done in no time. And it's a joy to have them come and help. So it doesn't have to be working one-on-one with a resident. There's lots of different opportunities within the organization to volunteer. We also have a very active auxiliary. This is a group of men and women who provide programming and resources, all for the benefit of our residents. And over the years, they've contributed an incredible number of programs and items, including outdoor furniture, fountains, gas grills, so that the residents can enjoy picnics in the warmer months. And I should say warmer months, but we have a group at Ephrata Manor who likes to cook out through the middle of November. They're out there in their coats and their hats, but they're having hot dogs and hamburgers or chicken, so they enjoy that as well. If you're interested in serving on the auxiliary, they're also looking for folks who would like to help, and I encourage you, if you're not a member, to consider becoming one. We are also blessed to have the support and guidance from the pastors of our sponsoring congregations. They have the opportunity to assist our chaplains to minister to the spiritual needs of our residents, whether it's visiting residents one-on-one or providing leadership for our weekly worship services. And I have to say that we are blessed because we have our own Anna Thompson serving as chaplain for both our Thornwald home and our Sarah A. Todd Memorial Home. And she shares her God-given talents not only with the residents, but with their family members and the staff at each of the communities in which she is working. Each year, we ask our congregations to consider a $10 per communing member contribution to our benevolent fund. 100% of this fund helps to underwrite residents who are no longer able to pay for the cost of their care and who are not deemed eligible for governmental assistance programs. And I'm happy to report that last year, St. Paul's UCC here in Mechanicsburg gave $4,910 to our benevolent fund. That is a wonderful display of Christian stewardship, one in which we are very, very thankful for. Now, just to give you an idea of how much is spent each year for benevolent care, last year alone, the need for benevolent assistance rose to over $825,000. Now, that's in addition to almost $5.5 million that UCC Homes provided in uncompensated charitable care. Now, be aware that while it's not a guarantee, UCC Homes' ongoing intention is that no resident be asked to leave because of inability to pay. But we're only able to say this and do this because of you, our partners in this faith-based ministry. And we are faced with the great challenge of meeting this growing need for financial assistance. People are living longer, and they're outliving the resources that they've set aside, if they've been able to set anything aside for their later years in life. And as I shared with you earlier, in less than 10 years, 12 million older Americans will need some type of long-term care. And if the trend in recent years by federal and state government to suppress funding for long-term care continues, UCC Homes will continue to need the support of our sponsoring congregations and other groups and individuals to be able to provide financial support to those in need. And one of the things that we do to help meet this growing need for financial assistance is we have developed a benevolent endowment trust fund where the principal stays intact, but the interest generated augments our other benevolent fund contributions. And one of the things we do, it's a really fun event to raise money for this fund, is we hold our annual Helping Hands dinner and auction. And this past year, we were able to raise almost $30,000 for the Benevolent Endowment Trust Fund. And I'm also happy to report that St. Paul's UCC has been very active in this event, not only donating items to be auctioned off, but for the past, I want to say 10 years, they've had at least one table full of church members attending the event. And we're thankful for the creativity of Melissa Cawley, who serves on our planning committee for this event. So if you haven't attended, consider our next one, which will be our 20th anniversary event, will be on May 5th of 2015. And if you keep your eyes open, more information about that will be forthcoming. We rejoice for those who dedicate their lives to serving others. The scope and the magnitude of the work done at UCC Homes is beyond individual capabilities alone. Each person, our board members, our staff, our auxiliary, our volunteers, and you help us get our work done efficiently and effectively. And you may wonder, well, how do we know if what we're doing truly is working? Well, I'd like you to listen to a few words from residents, family members, and volunteers who have been touched by passionate commitment of the ministry of UCC Homes. One family shared, "Since none of our family lives locally, we are grateful to UCC Homes for your generous and compassionate care. Staff and residents became her extended family. They loved and cared for her with skill, respect, and compassion. The staff also communicated regularly with me, and I appreciate the fact that the staff listened to me and responded to my concerns and requests." Another family shared, "For the year that my mother was at UCC Homes, she was treated like a queen. Her hair was done, she was bathed, clean and comfortable, with lots of volunteers and visitors from her church and from volunteers within the home. Everyone ministered to her with gentleness, kindness, and love." We had one resident share with me, "When I came here, I did not want to participate in any of the activities, but the staff and the volunteers kept gently encouraging me to try an activity. Now, I don't want to miss all the fun times we share playing games, enjoying special entertainment, and going on outings and trips." Another shared, "After my mother passed, I dreaded going back knowing that she wouldn't be there. But from the moment that I walked in the door, there were kisses and hugs from staff and regular volunteers. It was a very warm and wonderful experience. And now I'm a regular volunteer at the home." My mother's strong recovery is a tribute to the highly professional, supportive, and caring services that the staff provided. From the gifted members of the physical therapy department to the capable and helping nursing staff to the cheerful and attentive aides, we experienced the kind of care that sets the standard for excellence. And finally, I volunteer at UCC Homes to give back in a small way for the loving care my mother received. I am blessed, for I receive far more than I give. New friends, loving support, and education in the areas of elder care. I see my mother's face on all of our beloved residents when I visit. That is my greatest gift of all. The members of St. Paul's UCC and the other sponsoring congregations are such a vital part of our ministry. We live out our faith because of you, the folks who sit in the pews of the UCC churches within Penn Central Conference, who have responded to God's call to be shepherds in our ministry. So on behalf of the board of directors, the residents, and the staff, I thank you for being our partners in this faith-based ministry. Your love and your compassion, your talents and time truly help fulfill the lives of our residents. And I encourage you to keep listening to God's call, because God is still speaking.